Hey guys, welcome back to Flying in Space with Planet Head. Um, Hint of the day: don't be afraid. That's all I got. Honestly, I didn't have a whole lot of time. Maybe today's video is an entire hint of the day because I am out in Tama, the most volatile of systems. I've been out here for about a day and a half, and I have not died yet. I only played a little bit yesterday, off and on, just for the fact that I'm getting some stuff done that I wasn't able to do while I was sick for 2 weeks. So, and that may happen for the next day or so while I've got a couple days off. So, might be a little bit lean on my Eve time over the next week or so. Um, as I said, I'm stepping away from the Minmatar Liberation Games videos just because I really was not that intrigued with them. Um, they the irony was I got a bunch of watches on YouTube, but you guys I think people kind of agreed with me. I don't really worry about subscriptions or number of watches or things like that because I'll never make enough to make money off of it. I more so use them for judging whether or not a video is quality wise any good. And I think I got like the highest number of views in 2 days of one video, but the least number of likes in the comparison to that. And that was kind of just reiterating to me that what I was doing was kind of boring, or at least me talking, which I'm doing right now. So I have changed up as of the last video because I want to do something that I want to do. Um, and what I've been doing is living out here in Tama, just checking out the area, getting used to it. I do have my just junky little probe here. It's got a weak little cloak device, but what I've been doing is setting up a few save spots that I can watch things that are going on. And then if I don't have a specific thing that I can do for videos, I can at least be out here and show people stuff. One nice little positive to that is as I've been watching, and this kind of gets my adrenaline going, is I've been doing my scavenger play, which I've been doing for about 6 months now, to an upper level. So by not being afraid, I've been much more of a scavenger, and rather than killing off NPCs, you'd be amazed at the amount of stuff that is left around here. I'll just show you in probably an hour's worth of playtime yesterday out here in Tama. Um, I was able to get over 23 million worth of Tech 2 equipment and um, drones and some nanite paste and damage control 2s and drone damage. The irony is I need this and this and that for Amanda Rose out in Nullsec. Ooh, a nanofiber. I didn't even notice I had that. So this might be the beginnings. I don't know. This might be the beginnings of doing scavenger play at an even higher level where I accumulate goods. Maybe I just got lucky yesterday, but this was off of about 3 different battles that I grabbed stuff off of. Uh, I may start scavenging and using this for my own stuff and to try different things out. But so why don't I just go out and show you what I've been doing, and I'll probably end up dying because of it. Let's see here, and it really is a lot more interesting. I'm just basically, well, I don't want to say it's more interesting. It's something new, and it could be something that I could do at all times. Now, I am in a Satoyo. It's a player-controlled station. The main reason why I'm here is because of this right here, the tethering. The tethering allows me to come out of the station and not be killed right away. I'm hoping I'm doing that correctly. Um, and I can get an idea of what's going on. You see a couple guys flying in. Whoa, that was pretty quick. Some guys flying in right there. He's 102 away from me. So I'm seeing a lot more action out here. Um, and just getting a feel for everything. I've been able to slowly set up some save spots off of each one of the gates. This is a save spot near Nor, which, or the, not Nor, the, let me see here if I can find it. Norvakanen, whatever. It is near that gate. Um, and that is where you're coming from high sec into low sec, so it's really the most volatile of gates. It's only 1430 away from me right now, the gate itself, so I can actually watch it from here. Um, but I did set up one that was about 150 kilometers off of the gate just to see what was going on. What I'm going to do is just go ahead and warp to my first save spot. Now this is a much more dangerous area, so I'm going to need to move my save spots around every so often. But let's go ahead and get out of here. It weirds me out to have people around me with all of these suspect things on them. And I'll show you basically what I was doing yesterday. This comes from not my general knowledge of PvP because it's very low. Maybe it's my knowledge of getting killed by PvP. But out here by doing what I'm doing, I'm actually getting better at flying my ships, and it will take quite a while. But I may actually get into some PvP. You never know. But what I can do from here now. If you've watched previous videos, I like to get myself moving in one direction just so if somebody were to combat probe me down and I'm not paying attention to it, I can at least be on the move and have a chance of getting away. Secondly, what I can do is I can descan down each one of these anomalies or these faction warfare spots where people fight. And this is what I ended up doing yesterday for about 30 minutes. And I had a lot of fun with it, but I had to be very careful because I had to use my cloak, warp in, use the stuff that I learned out in nullsec to be just a little bit more careful. And I do not have a high-level ship doing this. I'll just show you here. I think the ship is worth 3.5 million ISK, and most of that is in the Sisters core probes. I could definitely be doing this with a better ship, probably one that has a little bit better agility, and clean some stuff up. But I want to use this ship as my, well, I'm using it now because I have it, but I want to use it as also my ability to go, if I get bored here, roll over to another system and do some scanning. So, but still keep it low cost, but definitely going to upgrade this or change it down the road. But I'm going to use it until I die, probably. Descan a little bit more here. If you've also noticed, a nice little bonus is that I actually changed my setup. I put my laptop, you can't really see it, but my laptop is down here versus being on the side. So I can act, and I put my extra monitor above it. So now I can literally, you'll see me looking up more than to the side, so maybe that's a little bit better. But let's see what we got going on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my directional scan angle down. I'm sure you've probably seen that before, but if you haven't, I'll just do a brief description. I'll just show you here. When you're doing directional scanning, if you have a 360 degree view, you've got that. And I'm just going to zoom in here so it's easier. So you've got a 360, it's checking everything within 14.3 AU around me. If I change that distance, it gets higher or lower. And then if I want to cut that in half and know if whatever I'm scanning down is on the left or the right side, I can half that. And then make a cone. If I go down to 5%, I think it was last video or the video before, I gave a hint to go to Hateless's video where he talks about directional scanning. I'm trying to work on my ability to do it better. Like I said in that video, he does a pretty good video. There's 1,000 videos out there about directional scanning. What I thought about was to focus on how quickly he does it. He's doing a video to explain how to do it, but I was more intrigued by the speed at which he was doing it at, and that's what I want to get better at. So, long story short, there's my cone right there. And I want to check out each one of these sites here to see if there's any wreckage there. So I'm going to take it down to 5% like that. I'm going to hold down my C button, and I'm going to turn my camera to that spot and scan. Now I can also hit a hotkey. Thing to look for here is wreckage, and if anybody's there, there is one Amar destroyer wreckage there. I could go scavenge that. It may be taken, it may be not, but I can just go through each one of these and see. Now this is, most of them are going to the outposts. Okay, so we got, now this is big. This is a state frigate wreck. So that is actually the NPC wreck that's inside of the outpost, which is not really that important to me. Got nothing there. All these have to be within 14.3 AU. Now it might be that it's just a little bit quieter today because of it being a Monday versus a Sunday. Yesterday local had about 40 to 50 people into it when I was playing. Now it's down to 27. So let's go back to this small one. Now, if you notice here, the destroyer is gone. I mean, the destroyer wreck is still there, but the guy who is actually there is gone. So what I want to do is actually just warp to it at 100 and hopefully be safe enough that nobody's near it. So I'm going to see if that wreck is on the outside or the inside. Once I get there, I have to be very ready. What I would want to do, I'm warping 100 off of the entrance to it. But I want to, as soon as I get there, change directions. Okay. So what I would end up doing is just usually picking a direction away from it, hitting my micro warp drive, and then hitting my cloak. What that does for me is it gets my speed up quickly, gets me a little bit of push, then I hit my cloak, and it gets me off of that spot that I'm currently at. So if somebody was right there and tries to bump me out of my cloak, at least I'm out of that initial spot that I landed at. So if they targeted me, I might be able to get out of there. Now that I'm here, I could keep an eye out on here and see. Now, the reason why I warped to this entrance gate, the acceleration gate, is a lot of times people will try not to fight inside of the acceleration gate. They will actually try to catch you outside of it and get into bigger fights out here. Reason being, somebody just come through there? Find out. What can happen is, like, let's say a novice site, if I'm not mistaken, will only allow in frigates, and I want to say destroyers, but at the very minimum frigates, but it won't let in cruisers and battle cruisers and anything above. But what you can do to try to catch somebody who's trying to go into one of these is set outside of the gate, and as they warp in, then tackle and blow them up. So a lot of times you'll have a lot more wreckage outside of the gate than inside of the gate. So that is an option. It does say there's an Amar destroyer wreck inside of here. Because the reason why I know that is because it's not outside of it. Nobody seems to be in the area, I'm taking a chance here. I can warp in it and see if, sorry about my nose. I've kind of still got hangover leftovers from being sick. Um, I can go ahead and, now that I pointed that out, I can't do it because if I do actually um, rub my nose again, you won't be able to stay away from it. Let's see here. There is a guy who posts up Tama news up here. I watched it yesterday or the day before. I guess I watched one of their videos. He's just giving a update each day about video things that happen in Tama because there's a lot of action that happens here. So let's go ahead. 79. Now I think I can activate this gate even if I'm not here. Now, big thing here is I want to check to see if anyone is inside of this gate. Now, I don't think there is, but I'm going to pop this up to 360 degrees. And that tells me that there's probably nobody inside of this gate. They can't be cloaked up inside of it. So I'm going to go ahead. I could die at some point here by being stupid, but I'm going to remove my cloak and try to enter this acceleration gate. Activate gate. We're going to go see what, I think there's a destroyer wreck inside of here. There was. So, since there's nobody here, I need to get out before these state destroyers try to shoot me. Okay. So, big thing there was there was a ship that was destroyed inside of it. No loot was there that I could pick up. Another thing that I could do, now this would be a lot scarier, but I was doing it yesterday, is I do have two safe spots set up. One off the Suju gate, I call it Suju just to keep it short so I can pronounce it. Suja Ranto gate, Rento, and I've got one off of the Norovakan gate. I'm going to try to pronounce those. Yesterday, I actually warped to this gate outside of it, and there were a couple player wrecks that were out there. Now, I can tell you if there are any by, again, doing a directional scan at the gate by aiming my camera at it. There is a bustard probably in that general area. So let's go ahead. I'm going to warp to my safe spot that's outside of it. It's pretty quiet today. I have to say yesterday was really crazy. So maybe there's certain days that would be better to scavenge, which would lead me to flying to another area and doing my exploration. So this save spot has me 100 off of the gate. I'll do the same thing that I just did. Just point myself in a direction, hit my micro warp drive, and hit my cloak. I might actually want to wait like 2 seconds for my micro warp drive before I hit the cloak because that'll let me get up to full speed and really get me moving. Because obviously my cloak, as soon as my cloak hits, I get slowed down pretty quickly. But that'll get me a little bit better of a jump away. And from here, I can actually see what's going on the gate. Now, another thing to keep an eye out for, these are illusion. If there's rats on the gate, not the Autothysian Lancers, but if there's other rats, that means that somebody hasn't been here in a while, or they haven't gate camped it because obviously the rats are there. So they just warped off. So I got nothing going on here. Let's go check out the Norovian gate. Yesterday was interesting. There was a guy literally sitting on the gate at the Praxis gate. It seemed like he was just waiting, trying to get a fight. Or a lot of people will sit on gates like that as bait. There was a bait one out here on the Sarujan gate for a little while. And I can get more into how you figure that out. Ooh, I do not want to, I'm 150. I want to go just to 0. If there's nothing going on this gate, I'll show you how I set up. Oh, I can uncloak. There we go. Now the big thing here is I'm going to watch my cloak thing. I've only got a level 1 cloak ability. So I want to make sure that even though I'm warping to it, I want to make sure that I have the ability to cloak when I do land, just to be safe. So I like to wait a little bit of time. So there is a wreck here, an adventure. That's interesting. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Pump my micro warp drive. Let my speed get up just a little bit. Then hit my cloak. There we go. So as you can see here, a lot more action. Now these aren't actually on the gate. They're probably sitting at the stations, keeping an eye on the gate to see what's going on there. Looks like an elite cruiser was killed. We got a capsule, somebody died. You can hover over that. The pilot is a criminal. Bad man. You got a venture over here. And that is probably your Sino there, I am assuming. I don't know a whole lot about that, but I've seen that a lot. Then the other thing, while you're doing this, and this is kind of an interesting part, is, let me just come on down here. I'm going to minimize this. And do that. See, and you guys, while I'm seeing here, you can keep an eye on what's going on here. I'm just setting up my Z kill board. So I can show you here. So a trick that you can do, let's say I want to check out Sun Mercati. So just scroll down here, and this was actually brought up in the chat channel to me. I can go ahead and highlight the name, Control C, and then come up here, Eve 2, Z kill board. Instead of typing it in, just Sun Miracle. And you can pull up their stats and see what they're like. Now here's the second thing that you can do. And this is where you can just do some research and just take some time to learn about the way different people play. And I was watching a fight yesterday and seeing how people do different things. What you can do is just do some research. Now we've got a couple other guys on here, but we're going to focus on Sun. They're in a Munin. So a good thing to do is to come through here and see if they have any losses. So this is a list of all of their ships and their fights. But if I click on losses, then I come over here and I look for a Munin. And look to see if they've died in a Munin. I might just be missing it here, but I'm not seeing one off the top of my head. Osprey. Oh, I can do a Control F. Nothing. Okay, so it looks like they haven't died in a Munin before. Let's say they were flying an Eagle, or let's go even farther down here. Let's say they were flying a Kestrel. Okay, I can come in here and take a look at the fit of the Kestrel and see what they were flying. This isn't 100% proof, but it'll do two things for you. It might give you an idea of what that person's flying. If they've died in the past, it'll give that fit. But number two, it helps me to learn different things about different ships, stuff like that. So I can take this ship, even though they died in it, If it's somebody who has a pretty good record, you're going to die no matter what. You're not going to have a 100% kill ratio. At least this way I can learn from how different people are set up. So let's go ahead and get back out of here. So that is something that you can do. And I'm fairly comfortable and safe just being cloaked up. I am 156 away from the gate here. Now somebody could accidentally warp by me. I could actually do this by sitting on one of these stations, but I actually feel more comfortable out here on my own, cloaked up, versus being here where they can see me, where they can be doing the same thing. Now, people are going to see that. They're going to see that I'm in a probe, and they're not scared at all. But, so from here, I can kind of do the same thing that I was doing before. I can go ahead and see if there is any wrecks in the area. Now, these aren't close. Now, most of these here probably won't. These are stations. So I'm betting that there isn't any wrecks at these, just for the fact I can actually look in that direction. If they're open stations, then there's tethering ability, so it's probably a very low chance that somebody would be dead. I can look at maybe some of these here. Again, I'm holding down the C button to change my angle of view. But I kind of feel like I'm a reporter in a bunker here, just keeping an eye out. Now, like I said before, this is probably half the number of people that were in it yesterday, and I don't think I was on a busy time on a Sunday. It is around noon, actually morning my time. So, but yeah, I have to be honest, I was a little bit afraid to get in here. I'm afraid to die, but I need to get used to that. And now that I've checked things out, I'll do a quick run through each day, maybe in Tama or someplace. I could actually, like yesterday, pull up my map and see if there's another place where people are dying. That's another place that I could go scavenge. I did that 2 days ago. I went and found a big battle and scavenged the wrecks that were there and got about 15 to 20 million worth of stuff. And I can pick up stuff that I normally wouldn't grab and try that out versus being limited to the stuff that the rats drop. So, other than that, that's about all I got. I'm going to go ahead and warp back to my safe spot. Whee! And tomorrow or later on today, I'll actually set up another safe spot near the Kadama gate and have some fun with that. But so what I might start doing is just recording Tama interactions, maybe not live, but just record what I'm doing and then cut those videos up for each day if I don't have something else to put in. But other than that, that's about all I got. Not a whole lot today. I'm just having a little bit of fun with this. I have a lot of work to do around the house. Like I said, I'll be a little bit limited over the next week that I can play. But now I've got a way that I can do it and always have fun doing it. I'm still going to play Amanda out in nullsec, but I'm testing out a few things there. And that's about it. If you guys have any questions or any thoughts, just feel free to comment or message me in game, and I'll be happy to answer anything. Other than that, fly safe, fly dangerously, fly however that you want, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.